So this is my Utopia Nights of Raw. I've changed it up and I've been having a little fun with it. I kind of went back a step, um, but it's like over the evolution of playing my deck my way from the beginning of the Arcana Knights coming out. I've learned a great deal from winning and losing and then seeing other options. So I've come to this build for right now, and I have a better updated version, but I wanted to showcase this version because this is like a simpler version and ways you can do a few simple card combos. And Idaten is very good for the cards, even with just the spell and the trap. Idaten is a good choice, and I'll show you the combo real fast at the end of the deck profile. Um, People who know me, they know how you play, so they know I run sphere mode, so they've been ending up on two monsters, and you know, I took them out, and then I played Dragoon, basically. So like, all right, now they're gonna negate two cards, and I try to make it so that they negate the searchers, so then they don't end up. Then I can search out Red Eye Fusion if I don't have it in hand, and then I could just go from there. But it's like, all right, you wasted your resources on negating my big Exceed monsters from coming out, the Utopia cards from coming out. Now you have to deal with Dragoon, and you wasted your resources. So it's like either you're gonna have to deal with all the big Exceed monsters, or Dragoon, and he's still annoying if you don't have the right cards to take him out. So it's like I've been going around that and going from there. Um, so this is my deck profile. So I've cited out the gods, but if I'm playing somebody I don't know, then I put in the sphere modes because normally they end up on 3 or more monsters. So you got 3 Imperial Bowers. Everything's collector's rare. I play 2 Joker's Knight. I was playing 3 yet, but I'm like 2 is fine. And I like running 3 Bowers because I want to see the combo. And you can go into a bunch of OTKs with just Bower in different ways. 2 Kings, 2 Queens, 1 Jack. Just need them mainly for the fusion, and there's an extra body on board. Then we got your Joker straight, 2 Jokers wild, and face card fusion. Another good card, even if you can't go into your extra deck, I've been using is Piercing the Darkness. Because if they lock you out of your extra deck and they have a big monster on board, what you can do is play the spell or Idaten and bring out Jack. And then Jack in combination with Piercing the Darkness. It's a built-in honest for a normal monster that's 5 and above. So Jack is perfect for that. He'll get the honest effect, and you can just beat over them. They'll take 19. So it's like a get over a problem. Or if an Exceed, Synchro, or Fusion use the normal monster for its material, then it also gets the built-in honest. But this is basically it for the Arcana Knight package. Then 1 Reinforcements of the Army. 2 Summoners Monk, because you can just ditch a spell. There's a lot of spells in this deck, so you can ditch a spell and just do your setup. So I got 1. I could trade the combo with this too. 1 Armed. 1 Utopia. 1 ZS. It's good just for a setup. Other than that, it does nothing. But you want to see Bower, because Bower is a 1 card played by himself. 2 Zexu Construct. I like running 2 Rank Up Spell. And it is a 45 card deck. But like I said, I got a newer version. So I wanted to play with the nostalgia of my deck in a way where it's like I was playing it a certain way when I was playing it with fusions, then I was playing it with Exceeds, and then I was playing it with certain monsters in certain ways with the magicians and stuff. So I'm like, I kind of picked all the best out of all the versions I played personally, and just put them together. So like my extra deck is Beast, the main core is Beast, like meaning like it's a savage, and it's like taking the best of every version I played I just putting it together to make a better version, but going back a step to just enjoy the deck. Like I'd be in tons of people, top meta player decks, and I wanted to enjoy the deck with the Arcana Knights, with them just in general. Double Nothing and Utopia, but I like using this in combination with Exodus because he would recycle everything back. And then, I mean, looking at it, like, if you don't see what I see, like the synergy and the connections, then I don't know what to say, but I see things on a different scale because I play the deck, so I obviously connect the dots because of how I want to play it, but this can recycle everything that's in your graveyard back. So even if your king and queens are in graveyard, like let's say both queens, so you can't activate Joker straight, this will recycle everything. Even your Exceed monsters, everything goes back. Bring him out, and then you can bring out Astro Karibo by targeting a level 10 Exceed. And then both of these is like I like going into number XX. So he becomes indestructible by card effect and battle, and then he powers something else. So it's like this is a way to just bring everything back and bring him out. I just love it. So, and basically this all ties in together with the Arcana Knights. I'm trying to make it a long video. I hate when I do that. And then just so they can't play, you got your 2 floodgates, Vanity's Ruler. That way you can still special summon, so your spells and traps are not dead. Harpies, 2 droplets, so you can OTK still. 3 Solemns. Like you can get lower rarities with these cards. And then I've been playing 2 triple tactical thrusts. And like I said, they negate something, and if you have this in hand, you can search anything. So they ash something, or whatever the case is, you can play this. You can search out your spell. You can search out Red Eyes Fusion. You can search out the Trap, Joker's Wild. And even if you have that on the field, you summon 1 monster after they ashed you. Set a monster. You have that in hand. You can play this, search out Joker's Wild. So then on their turn, see what they're going to do when they attempt to special summon. You can play the Trap, send a spell, special Queen, search King, tribute both Vanity's Ruler. Now they can't special summon. And not everybody has the out. They have to draw the out and know what you play. So I've shut so many decks down with just that, and they can't do nothing, and then I OTK next turn. And the last cards is the Red Eyes Fusion, like I said, and Red Eyes and Dark Magician for the Druid package. So it's like super simple. I'll show you a few card combos after the extra deck. So Idaten the Conqueror Star, I love this, and I think this should be a staple for it, because this will actually, even off of the spell card and the trap by itself, you can get all 3 going with Joker's Wild, Joker Straight, and Joker's Knight. And that's what I'm going to show you too. So, Idaten the Conqueror Star, 1 Dragoon. And I took out the Link monster. So, it's like, alright. I held 3 on the field, and their life points were cut in half. I'll just show you. Heroic Champion is a good staple, basic light warrior for it. Utopia double, guaranteed good cards. I like running 2 because it's part of an OTK if they have 1 monster, and I'll show you that too. Utopia Rising, Lightning, needed for the OTK. Beyond 99, this is a great card. X, this is what I use to bring out, and you can use the rank up spell if you wanted to. So you can bring him out with Exodus and Astro Karibo, or the rank up spell. The dragon, it's like a beefy dragon, so it's like with 2 monsters, you could just bring these out. all three on the field easily, and he'll be 6,000. He can't attack directly, but that's 4,000. So even if they don't summon nothing, because he can't attack directly, that's already enough damage to just OTK. But when he first uses his effect, they can't attack. Nobody can attack directly except him, but if he's brought out with double, he can't attack point blank. One Baguska and one Konami. The extra decks, well, honestly, whatever you want to make of it, but when I know there's summoning big boards, I got my Raw, my 3 Sphere mode. I still keep this in the thing, but you really don't need it, but it's good to just OTK, like no matter what you do with the deck. A 3rd droplet. I'm playing a different version, so lightning. If they're playing trap cards, you can side these in. You can take out, if they're just playing trap cards and they're not special summoning really at all, then you can take out the Vanity's Ruler, whatever you want, or even the Dragoon stuff, and just put these in. And then you're going to do the draw package, draw into Jinzo, and then you get extra normal summons. Like you just normal summon Jinzo, and their trap cards are shut down. Same thing with spellcasters and spell decks. If they're playing night but spell decks, it's an old card. It shuts all spell decks down. And I've been playing people that have been playing burn decks. So you can go into 99 and then use him if you're not under Joker straight, or just wait for their turn. You can bring him out with 99, and any burn damage you're supposed to get, they'll take instead. So this just reverses all the burns. So a burn deck is useless and they're burning themselves. So I keep this in my side deck. And that's it for the deck. So I'm going to just show you the basic combo, even off of just the spell. And let's say anything to this card. So this is why I like Idaten. So it's like, you know, you play the spell, you discard to the graveyard, which allows you to special queen, search king, normal king, king's effects since queen's on the field, Joker, Jack's Knight on the field. Then at this point you can go into whatever, but if you want to recycle, it's like you can just, I guess this is in hand, you can just, I mean, you can start recycling if you want, but you're right now locked into like warriors, so you can go into double effect, I'm not looking in the deck. Oh, the spell card. So you can know that you're actually searching out the spell card. You're searching 009, and then you're ranking up. So it's like, I'm not going into detail, so let's say you just go into him. Preferably in defense mode if they kaiju, something that requires an attack mode. And he's still 3,000 and he drops their attack to 0. If you want to recycle both, I guess you can just use both of their effects again. I mean, use his effect. And then you can just go into Utopia, Link Clang. So this way, if they choose to attack him, they can't activate effects, and he could just power himself up to 5,000, or whatever the case is. And then you're gonna set. This is hand. This is set, and then you end turn and just put back king and queen and put that face down for graveyard. You recycle these two by putting back these two to your deck. So then this is your hand. Then you pass turn. On their turn, you would play Joker's Wild. And with this, the whole point is to bring out Idaten the Conquering Star. So you would send Face Card Fusion to the graveyard. And then you're targeting him, and since you have one of the knights on the field, you can substitute one for deck. So this, in combination with this, will get you the Joker's Knight. So you're sending this with this to the graveyard. For Idaten the Conquering Star. And then Idaten the Conquering Star's effect. When he's summoned, you can search a level 5 warrior and add it to your hand. So you're basically searching out the other Joker's Knight. So that's why I run it at 2. And like I said, this way, now off of just having these, opening up these two, or even if you have this on their turn, you can, the same thing, you can summon the King, Queen, and Jack for defensive purposes, or let's say they attack you with one monster, bring out all 3, so then these go to the graveyard, let them pop something, so it's like, if they want to get at you, so then you can just do it next turn. But this way, even if you open up dumb, with Idaten, it's like, you don't have to worry about searching this or hard drawing it, where you can guarantee it come into your hand. And then, not only that, I already have, look, I have the whole play set of recycling in my hand. And then, on your end turn, the way this was played, you can recycle Jack to the deck by bringing this to your hand. And then this was also engraved, so you can recycle this to the extra deck since it's a light warrior and bring this to your hand. So that's the only thing in graveyard. So now this is your hand. So instead of looking for them with Idaten the Conquering Star combo, you can just do that. But even with the spell, you don't even have to go into the exceeds if you want to keep it super simple. And basically, you would have played the spell to Special Queen, search Jack, tribute Queen for Jack, and then just set the trap. And then their turn, send Face Card Fusion and do everything else. So that way, no matter what, you have all 3 of these in hand. So there was something else I wanted to show, but there's OTKs with the deck. Like if you have him and you have Face Card Fusion, and whether you use Zexu Construct to search out him or not, I'll just show you. But it's basically, there's multiple ways to end with this board. And like, this is just an extender. This individually you can celestial summon them or add them to hand. So I thought of this one random day, and I was just looking over my cards in the combo, and I was like, huh, individually I can special summon them, but I'm like, how can I utilize this? And then I had the construct in hand, and I was like, I could kind of use Sage. And then I thought of this as like a normal summon, and then tribute for its effect, and I special Queen, search style Jack, but I added Jack to my hand. So at this point, this is hand, this is field. Now you want to use him as your extender to special summon. And then before you do anything here, now you play the spell. Since you have Queen on the field, you can substitute one card from your field and hand, and substitute one from your deck. So at this point, you will be fusing Jack's Knight with Joker's Knight to go into Idaten the Conqueror Star. Because you need Queen on the field, because that's the only way you can substitute a card from your deck, is if one of the knights are on field. And now you have this set up in deck, in your graveyard. And then when this hits the field, you search out the other one. So now you got it going with two Joker's Knight. And since you didn't summon Joker's Knight, you have an extender here. But you don't need him really, so it's like, then with these two, you would go into this guy, and whether you're going first or second, let's say they have a blue eyes on the field, you win. If they don't have a monster, you win. It's like no matter what, if they have at least one monster on the field, as long as it's something with a level, you win. Because let's say it's blue eyes, anything that's level 10 or lower, he drops to 0. You use his effect, give up all your life points except 500, target one of your monsters. The game's double its current attack permanently. So then you use his effect, target him during battle. He becomes 6,000. That's 6,000 plus 25. That's over 8,000 damage. So even if they have a blue eyes or whatever the case is, he can drop it down to 0. They take 6,000 and then attack for game. If they don't have nothing, 6,000 and 25 is game. It's like keeping it super simple, and it's like this helps you search out the extras. So like if you wanted to, you can just extend and king to the graveyard, or just leave it in hand, and then this one will recycle this one, and then next turn, if there is a next turn. So it's like keeping it very simple and casual, and loving how simple things can just get you games. Because not everybody draws epically, and some people brick, and this is just so simple. So I love this. Oh, to showcase why I was doing the other thing. And then that's it, because again, apologize for the long video. Normally, let's say we don't have no draw. Let's say it's just those two. Or we'll keep it to the deck. Let's keep queen. And this. What I've been doing normally, I had the link before, but let me show you going first and then my turn when ending, and this is why I ended, and I took out the link. I'm like, it just makes sense. So this was my hand, and I would special, normal. This is hand. Then we exceed for double. His effect activates first. Always let that resolve just in case they try to Imperial imperm you. Then you could chain his effect and imperm will miss his timing, and you can just get both. So then his effect gives him the effect if he uses material for Utopia card to search the rank up spell. Oh, I guess I will show you one thing more afterwards. So then use effect, send to grave. Search double or nothing. Then you will go into Utopia. Utopia with link climb. I'll show you two things. And then at this point, you will use the rank up spell. Because you need the rank up spell. This is needed. So then you use his effects. Let's say you send Queen. And I normally send Utopia for my own reasons. Because I think the monster has to have attack. I'm not too sure. But then you bring out on number 6. Then his effect activates to target an exceed monster. It becomes material. And since a level 99 monster brought out an exceed monster, the spell card activates its effects and becomes an attachment. So this becomes equipped and this becomes attached. So that way his effect goes live. You use his effect, detach to send back to the graveyard. It cuts their life points in half. It's not a burn or anything, so it's a game state of you're just cutting their life points in half or whatever is at. So there's been times I've Dark Ruler no more and Lightning Storm their field. You know, Dark Ruler no more says they can't take effect damage or battle damage for the rest of the turn. So it's like I got rid of their field and I did this. and then this cuts their life points in half. So then they're at 4,000. So it's like you still did something. You got rid of their field, negated all their stuff, and you cut their life points in half. So now they're playing Yugi from the series, 4,000. Then on their turn, I would send these two to the grave and bring out Baguska. And then Baguska's effect will activate, switching everything to defense mode. And again, the rank of spell activates to become equipped. And then they would pass turn. On my turn, this has to detach something or it's destroyed. And sometimes they can still summon big monsters and they're waiting for you to go into attack mode so they can negate something. So I'll leave it in defense mode. Then I would go, well, going back a step, this would normally, I would go into the Link monster, and then if they only have monsters on the field, then I would absorb it. But at this point, I'm like, I took out the Link, I'm like, I can just play this, send the materials to the graveyard, bring out Dragon, then obviously because of this it goes to defense mode, but obviously then you change this to attack mode, use this effect, pop their 2 monsters or their 1 monster, and whatever damage they took, they were already at 4,000 because of him, now they're gonna burn, and then you can just switch the other ones to attack mode and just go for game. Oh, let me show you the OTK real fast. If they have 1 monster and it requires an exceed, just succeed. So even if you just have that, even if you just have this in Bower, try to keep it as simple as possible. If I can find Bower. So let's say they have 1 monster, and it's not a problem, but you want to OTK them. So like summon Bower. Bower's effect. Bring out King and Queen. King and Queen overlay into. Well, it doesn't even matter at this point, would it? No, it wouldn't matter, but let's just say you're going to Utopia. You have the Link climb. And then you play the spell because he has to attack. This is saying, let's say they have a monster on the field, no matter what attack it is. So then you detach these 2. To bring out Beyond. Then Beyond's effect is going to activate to drop them to 0. This is going to activate to become attached. It's important you remember this. So now they're, whatever, let's say Blue Eyes, it's at 0 attack and it's in attack mode. This because he dropped it. Then you're going to use his effect to detach. Banish himself to bring back Utopia. I'm not sure if it says attack or defense mode, but it doesn't really matter. Then this is why you're going to need a second copy of going into the second copy. And then you're going to go into Lightning. Like I said, this requires them to have at least 1 monster. So then he's going to attack. They're already at 0 because of Beyond. His built-in effect, they can't activate nothing. He's going to juice himself up to 5,000. So they took 5,000. And he's at 3, and that's game. It's super simple, but you need 2 copies of this for it. The rank up spell, and this is if they have 1. You've seen the other combos if they have no monsters or whatever, but this is if they have 1. And I thought of this while I was at a tournament, and I was like, I still won, but I was like, I could have won a turn before if I did this, and I saw it beforehand. I'm like, just connecting the dots. No matter what attack they are, and even if they have 2 monsters, you can still win. Because he would drop all of them to 0, both monsters. Then he still attacks one of them. They take 5, and the 3 is 8. So, was there anything else? And I am so sorry. I said I was trying to make this a fast video, and it's already at 30 minutes. Was there anything else? I don't think so, but that is my deck. I have another version I'll put up after I test it out at tournaments. I've been testing it up online, so I want to try it out. It's way different. And yeah, I guess stay tuned. But this is my Arcana Knights of Ra with Utopia, and Utopia is just perfect for the deck because it's Light Warriors, and the spell card locks you into Light Warriors. So if anybody says it's not really Utopia or Arcana Knight deck, like they lock you into Warriors, and it's just not good to not play the Utopia cards. Even if you took out the Utopia cards from here, like you can still play the Utopia cards, the extra deck, just double. But on the things where double would not use in your hand, Zexu Construction could just put it back and you search out the special. If you have 2 queens, it just fixes all the problems with double or knighting the one of always being in your hand. But that's it. I'm gonna go probably tomorrow to a tournament or soon, so I'll do the updated version soon. But it's way different. It doesn't run this card, and I like this simple play. You still get wins, but you know I'm extremely competitive, so it's like I want to win and showcase the deck at full throttle. But I wanted to play this version with the love and heart that it is. I'm like, I miss this card. I could just search out the Joker's Knife for recycling, but the other version doesn't. It can't play it for multiple reasons. But that's it.